Hey guys, so the new DLC just came out and I wanted to bring you the hot news as soon as possible. Now, I'll be going over everything including merchants, the new enchantments, new items right now, but I will not cover daily trials and the new missions because I want to do separate videos about that. Now, to start things off, let's have a look at the 4 new artifacts. Yes, you heard me right, 4 new artifacts, and yes, 2 of them caught me by surprise as well. The first one we already know, it is the Ice Wand, and as I guessed before, the ice themed items did not change anymore. So the Ice Wand is exactly as it used to be, and you can see that in a lot of my previous videos where I used that item already. So that is also the reason why I won't talk about the bow and the armor here again, because they really did not change. Now the next one will be the Buzzy Nest artifact, and the way it works is you place it down, it summons the bees, they sting enemies and they die after they did that once. Then they get respawned until the hive runs out of time. Only after that the cooldown of the artifact will start running, and that's basically how we guessed already that the artifact will work, so it's no big surprise here at all. The next 2 artifacts are the ones that I didn't expect at all, and they add more to our inventory of summoned creatures. First we have the Soul Lantern, and this is the first artifact that summons a creature and requires you to have souls in order to use it. When used, it summons a little ghost that, just like the llama, attacks enemies with a ranged attack, but it seems to be a little more efficient as it attacks faster. It is thematically really nice for a necromancer themed build, but I doubt its usefulness in combat as it also despawns after a while, which makes it worse than most other summons in the game. And finally we have the Enchanted Grass. Now this one is easily obtained by completing the secret mushroom mission. All other artifacts have been removed from that mission, so you will always get it. What does it do? It summons 1 out of 3 sheeps at random. The blue one will give you a movement speed aura just like the evocation robe does, but the blue sheep won't attack. The red one attacks enemies and has the burning enchantment, and sadly it doesn't do that much damage. The green one is in my eyes the strongest one, it attacks enemies and spawns poison clouds, all of that does decent damage. The overall idea of that artifact is really fun, but I doubt its usefulness in combat. Now let's go over the new merchants. The very first is the one thing we all have waited for, and it is the Blacksmith, or rather item upgrading. When upgrading an item, you have to leave it at the blacksmith for 3 missions, so obviously the fastest way to upgrade stuff is running Soggy Cave. Now to the part that might upset many of you. The upgrade isn't guaranteed. In fact, I had to upgrade these 3 items multiple times until I finally got one of them to upgrade by 1 power level. First I thought that the system was broken, but it appears to work as it is intended to. And if I think about it, it makes sense. If you would have a guarantee for an upgrade each time, grinding for a new item would be pointless. Then we have the Village Merchant. He sells common and rare items for a cheaper price than the Luxury Merchant, which we will talk about in a second. The issue I have with that is that he is still more expensive than the old Blacksmith, but you will not get any useful items from him. You will upgrade him by rescuing villagers, which means that you will upgrade him at least once when you're done with Creeper Woods. The best map to upgrade him is Redstone Mines, because there you can rescue 9 villagers and the map is pretty short. In my opinion, he is the worst merchant, and in the later game not useful at all. The only situation where I see him being useful is while you are still leveling up or for challenges that include creating new characters. The gift wrapper only works in multiplayer and will be used to trade items. Now power will be rerolled and enchantments will be removed for the receiving player. Nothing we didn't already know, so let's move on. The Luxury Merchant sells really expensive stuff that honestly isn't too useful. Yes, sometimes he will sell you a unique item, but as I guessed before, chances of that one being useful are pretty small. To upgrade him you have to defeat powerful mobs like redstone golems or evokers. The best map to do that is Obsidian Pinnacle because of the many guaranteed redstone golems in there. My personal opinion on him is the same as when we saw him for the first time. I don't think he will be that useful, but as there is at least a chance of him selling you a unique that has the potential to have good enchants, he is still a little bit more useful than the Village Merchant. Then finally we have the last merchant, the Mystery Merchant. You upgrade him by defeating enchanted mobs, which can be done on each map, and he will sell you boxes with random items from the displayed item type. He is also more expensive than the old blacksmith, but the odds seem similar to him, and that's why I call him the most useful merchant of them all. As you can see here, you can reserve items. You can keep them in the store until you get the emeralds to afford it by using that. That may be useful if you just spend all your emeralds and then that one item or box appears that you really need, but other than that, well, it's just not really useful. In my last video I was also talking about a new inventory tab with a key symbol. That seems to be gone again. Probably the idea got scrapped. Also, all the shops have a restock option now. You pay emeralds and get the item stock refilled. But seriously, do not use that. Whenever you restock, the cost of restocking doubles. Leaving the lobby and rejoining does not restock it, though at least that's from my testing in offline games. But if you finish a short mission like Soggy Cave, all the items of all the shops will be restocked and the price of restocking also resets. So restocking does nothing except wasting your emeralds, but is more time efficient. That makes farming big amounts of emeralds actually less worth it, and I kind of like that. Now let's finally go over the new enchantments. First one is Busy Bee, and it gives us a chance to summon a bee whenever we killed an enemy. The chance goes up to 40% and this enchantment isn't worth your time at all. The next one is Tumblebee. It has a chance to summon a bee when you roll. The chance goes up to 101%, which is either a rounding error or, as we know it from the supply enchantment, there's actually a 1% chance of a second bee spawning. You can have only up to 3 bees at a time, and this enchantment is honestly also pretty bad. The Bag of Souls enchantment. Remember when I was talking about it? I said it would add soul gathering to non-souls armors. That's basically what it does. I mean, its main purpose is to increase the amount of souls we get, but it also adds soul gathering to non-souls armors. Overall, this can be a good enchantment for some niche builds, but generally it's probably not. Acrobat. Now, Acrobat at first glance doesn't look like much, but believe me, this thing could replace Cowardice, and you will see later why. As a standalone enchantment, it's pretty bad, but it could do wonders with the Shadowstalker armor. Then we have Burst Bowstring. Now, when you roll, you consume 1 arrow and shoot up to 3 arrows to nearby enemies, dealing 40% of the full charge damage. That's not terrible, but also they're just better enchants for bows, so yeah, I don't know. I also want to mention that this is obviously for bows only. Then we have Dynamo. There's a melee version of it as well, and both deal additional damage with your next attack after rolling. The good part is, they can be stacked. Since we usually have one unused slot on our soul bows or crossbows that I filled in with gravity here, I think this could be really nice to do some big damage to bosses without having to let go of any of the other good enchantments, while you can still use your whirlwind to clear out mobs as you're used to. So let me quickly show you how this could look like, and maybe you will understand why this could potentially be better than Cowardice. So this was a really big hit, and that was without using a good bow or some other enchantments with it. Also important to know here is that the feather will now trigger all rolling enchants, which includes Dynamo. So overall this update seems very roll and summon focused. I will definitely try to get a build together with the Dynamo enchantment soon, so stay tuned for that. Also, I will upload the gameplay of the DLC maps from my live stream of later today, so if you can't catch the stream, check these out. And that's all for now. Thank you all for watching and see you next time. Bye bye.